So welcome back to part 2 of repair of the MS250 chainsaw. Today we're going to start off with the fuel line. What I want to do is remove the gas cap, and with a piece of wire shaped like this you want to retrieve the fuel filter from the tank. Now you want to remove the fuel filter from the old fuel line. You can use a small screwdriver, push it out. Next you want to remove the fuel line from here just by pulling on it. It's kind of like a grommet. Next, clean the area really good around the fuel line. Got the new fuel line here in my hands. I'm going to spray a bit of liquid wrench on the grommet part just to make it smooth to put in. You simply insert the line and work it until the grommet is fully intact. Remember that the flat part points toward this connector here. Now reach into the fuel tank again to retrieve the other end of the fuel line. Once you've got it out like that, just hold it and reinsert your filter back in. And you want the fuel line to go right up against the filter like that. Now just let the filter drop right back in the fuel tank and you're done. Now I'm going to reinstall the flywheel. Got it here in my hands. You'll notice there's a keyway built in to the flywheel. You want to make sure you line it up with the notch on the crankshaft right there. And once it's locked in, you're going to see that the holes match up here, and you'll be able to turn the crankshaft. And we'll put our nut in there. To tighten that up, you're going to need a 1/2 inch socket or 13 millimeters, and hold the flywheel in a tight spot. Don't hold it on the fins, but where the magnets are, and tighten it up as much as you can. Now that I've got the flywheel on, I'm going to reinstall the muffler. First you want to put in the studs just by going on the outer edge and putting them in like that. Next you've got this plate here that goes in. Then the exhaust gasket. Like that. Now on this saw, the spark arrestor screen goes right here like that. Then this part goes on. It catches on the lip over here. And now the two nuts go on, and they are 5/16 nuts. Install the back handle, and for that I've got some wires here that I have to run through a crack here. So first of all, you have to run these two wires here through this crack here. This one here goes over here on the coil, and the two wires with the eyelet go underneath the torque screw over here. Now that you've got the wires on there properly, the next thing is to insert the intake boot inside the plastic cover, and also the impulse line in the plastic cover here as well. Now you want to run the fuel line in the hole in the center of the plastic right here. Just like that. And now you've got to hook up the impulse line, which is this line here, to the connector right here. Also, before you do this, it's good to check your intake boot for any cracks. If it has any cracks whatsoever, it needs to be replaced because your saw will not run properly. So now I'm going to hook up the impulse line. You got to be very careful doing this, because you can easily puncture the line. Always try to grab it at the tip, not in the middle of the line. So you want it in all the way to the top here like that. And now we're going to install the intake boot through this hole here. And be careful when you do this that the impulse line does not get disconnected. And now reach in underneath with your fingers here and push the intake boot into the hole. And now reach up to the top and push it in. I'm doing it all with my fingers because it's so easy to puncture the intake boot with a tool, any kind of tool. This is how you want it, just like that. Now after you've done that, check to make sure that the impulse line is connected still. And the impulse line is still on. Now check this buffer mount here into the hole here. If you use a screwdriver, be very careful you don't puncture the buffer. Now you can put your screwdriver against the plastic here and push it in, and the buffer is going to be in its right place. This is how you want it to be. We're going to install the handlebar back on the saw. To do this, just grab the handlebars, run them through like that, and then bring it all the way to the back. Now at the bottom here, you have to line up these two holes here with the ridges over here. So just bring the handle to the back and then put this underneath just like that. Now you're going to need to put in a torque screw here inside, and I've put Loctite on it. Next I'll flip it over and put the two screws over here and one here. Now we'll put in the torque screw beside the handlebars. Now there's another torque screw that goes over here. And there's also one that goes over here for the handlebars. Now make sure you've got your spark plug wire going all the way through under there and through the hole on the top, and it's going to come up out